backtesting. Yeah, so like I said, some people on YouTube told me to do a random wheel generator last time that I posted a backtesting video, so that's what I'm going to be doing right now. I guess I can share the screen of that. All right, here we go. So the year that we will be doing is going to be 2020. And then the month that I'm going to be doing is November. And then the week is going to be the second week. All right. Second week of November 2020. 2020, November, second week, or we'll do the 8th and then it'll end date today. Probably going to do about a week of backtesting. I like to do it super thorough and not rush the process. That's kind of how I backtest. I think that's, that's how I would recommend backtesting as well. So, all right, let's get into it. I'm going to keep my chat open for questions, but I'm going to try and do this a little bit quicker than usual. Just, it seems like I usually have a lot of questions that kind of make the backtesting take a little longer. But yeah, I'm going to be posting this to YouTube. So if you do have questions, make sure to write them down and I'll answer them at the end of our session. But yeah. All right, so New York session, here we go. Starting on the 4 hour, or we'll start on the daily. It looks like we've swept buy-side liquidity. Get my ES open here as well. All right, we do have a major external S&T. These highs. And we have swept internal buy side on NQ. So I would probably be looking for some sort of a rebalance here, lower to our unmitigated gap below. I would need confirmation, but probably around discount here, which is aligned with our unmitigated daily. That's probably going to be my drawn liquidity. This is just the daily, so I'm definitely going to want to refine, and we'll see. But that's what I'm looking at on the daily. Daily looks bearish. Well, it doesn't look bearish, but it looks like we have a lot of room to be bearish here. Yeah, it will, Blake. This is going to be recorded. Don't worry. All right, 4 hour. Looks like we're starting to get that move down. We do have this 4 hour fair value gap that we could use to take us higher. So this is probably going to be my condition going into the day. If we're going to disrespect this, then my DOL is likely going to be lower. And if we are going to continue to respect this, my DOL is likely going to be higher. Don't complicate daily bias. It's not, first of all, it's really not that important. I think it's just nice to get kind of a grasp about what's going on the higher time frame and what our key levels could be, right? But it's important to, set conditions and be able to adapt at what price is telling us, right? So that's what I'm saying here by setting that condition of this 4 hour. If we disrespect this and inverse it, I would anticipate the DOL to be lower to this internal sell side as well as our unmitigated gaps and discount of the range. Now on the 1 hour, what's going on? I don't know why my ES isn't synced. This is weird. Whatever, we'll see. All right, 1 hour. Yeah, it looks like we are starting to create bearish PD rays that we are respecting. We have this 1 hour order block right here, which it looks like it's been used to take price lower. So since we are creating higher time frame bearish PD rays and respecting them, I'm likely going to, that's going to continue to support my narrative of being at least short-term bearish here, to internal sell side, as well as our unmitigated gaps below. All right, now the 15 minutes. It looks like we did just fill a new week opening gap as well, so we could see prices higher from here. Like I said that condition of the 4 hour, so I'm likely just going to continue following that. Now the 15 minute. Is this a data high? Do we have news here? No news. Okay. So yeah, I mean, you could say that we're disrespecting bearish PD rays here, given that we inverse this 15 minute, but I'm not really going to give that much thought to this, just because we use this to, take us higher to this higher time frame order block. This is a 1 hour order block. This is a 15-minute inversion. I'm going to keep this in the back of my head, but I'm not going to give too much thought to it. Coming into the day, okay, so, 5 minute, it looks like we're inside this 5 minute, so this is now going to be my condition with inside of my condition. If this 5 minute gets inversed, I think we're going to draw lower. We have this unmitigated 5 minute below here, as well as, now this internal sell side. So I want to see how price reacts to this 5 minute going into the day. And then we also have this unmitigated 5 above. I could see market open kind of, manipulating higher into this 5 minute and using it to take us lower. So we'll see. Obviously don't want to be anticipating, want to be doing more reacting, but it's kind of what I'm looking at so far. It looks like we're, generating some lower time frame liquidity here that we could definitely also soup to take us higher, so we'll see. All right, 1 minute. I'm going to go to now. All right, here's open, so we'll see what happens here. So yeah, we manipulated higher. Is there a 30-second here? It was invalid. This looks nice. It's pre-market. I don't like taking it. So we'll just continue going into the day. At this point in time, if we inverse this 5 minute and then we can get a retracement back into this gap that we're creating, I would like a continuation short here. It looks like we're starting to transition into sell side of the curve here. So that's kind of what I'd be anticipating to see right here. So we're in this 1 minute. If I wouldn't necessarily really be wanting to take this 1 minute long. Yeah, we are in, discount of this range. But still, I think that our overall DOL is lower, and it's kind of high resistance given that we'd be targeting a high with an SMT up here. So we'll see what happens here. I mean, I definitely, like I said, don't want to be predicting and want to be doing more reacting, but we'll see what happens here. It looks like we're also tapping into a higher time frame mitigation block. This 5 minute mitigation block, so this could definitely be used as well to take us lower. So we'll see how price reacts on the lower time frame to this. I like this short here, I'm not going to lie. I like how it's just such a small gap, but I think our DOL is very obviously bearish here. I like how ES is inversing right here as well. I'd almost want to take this on ES, but I might just, take this on NQ, to be honest. I like this a lot. Obviously, this gap isn't necessarily what we want to see, given how small it is. But when we have obvious DOLs below, this is something I talked about in that PDF that I dropped, is about how our mechanical entry model doesn't necessarily need to be A+ if we have, clear DOLs below. I mean, how big is this gap anyways? It's about 3 points. I really like the reaction here from this mitigation block as well. I mean, we tapped it perfectly. I'm probably going to throw an entry on here. I like this a lot. Break even. I'm just going to go break even at this internal. And then I'll be targeting lower. So yeah. My overall DOL is lower. I'm going to go low-hanging fruit. This would be our overall low-hanging fruit. I'm going to go here. I have confidence here. And if we get stopped here, so be it. I think that if we do get stopped, we'll get remanipulation, and then we'll be able to look for another move after. All right, we'll see what happens here. So let's break even. Now, we would want to see a flush here. Obviously, we'll get stopped at break even if we don't flush, but we'll see. It's risk-free now. I wanted to be a part of this. Like I said, looks like clear sell side of the curve here that I'd want to see get completed down here until I could actually see price transition into a buy model, right? It looks like our objective is going to be sell side here, as well as overall rebalancing that 4 hour that I marked out. You know, I would like to use more of a discretionary break even here because I'm very confident in our DOL, but there's not really a great spot I could go break even. I could go break even at this unmitigated 5 minute, which is probably aligned with around OTE of this range, but we're just going to do this. It looks like we've already put in an order block and we're respecting this, so hopefully we can just see some displacement here. I'm probably going to take a partial at a 1 to 2 as well, because now we're in that discounted PD array, that unmitigated 5 minute. So we could see rejection here. All right, and now stop to break even there. Yeah, I mean, I would have liked to take partials at a 1 to 1, but it just doesn't make sense taking partials at a 1 to 1, because if you take a 1 to 1, you take partials and then you get stopped at break even, you pretty much got 0.5 risk to reward if you're taking partials, if that makes sense. So that's a break even trade, and we'll continue to see what price does. It looks like we just wanted to, you know, we'll see. I kind of want to see my fib and see if we're at, I know we're in discount, but I want to see how we're reacting to our OTE. Yeah, it looks like we hit OTE perfectly, which is, yeah. That's definitely going to give us some rejection. I mean, OTE, this is why you should use OTE, though. You can see that we, you know, tapped it by a tick, so this would have been beautiful for partials, but like I said, I wasn't getting 1 to 2. If you take partials at a 1 to 2, then you're getting a 1 to 1, if that makes sense. So we'll see how price reacts here. We do have an unmitigated 5 now, instead of just that 1 that we were using earlier. So we'll see if we can use this to take us lower now. So the 5 minute did get disrespected, and we are delivering from a 5 minute below. If we're delivering from another higher time frame gap, I'd be open to it, but I don't know if I necessarily want to take this. I don't know, where's ES at in the range? I think that's really important right now. If we have like bullish SMT, then I could be open to it. We don't, and we have relative equal lows on ES, so I'm still going to be short-term bearish, honestly. We might currently go higher to then grab liquidity to take us lower. That's kind of my ideology right here. And if that's going to be the case, then I'd rather be part of that expansion lower and, you know, just watch that expansion higher short term. So that's what I'm going to be doing right now. Or if we can just inverse this, I'm definitely open to taking a short here as well. even though we did just inverse that 5-minute bullish. What's the highest time frame of this? 3-minute probably. 3-minute, yeah. Because, I mean, this is what I said earlier. If we're going to get stopped out or stopped at break even, then we're probably just going to remanipulate and then get the true move. And we have, you know, oh, it looks like we do have bullish SMT here. Definitely not a fan of that. We'll see, though. Yeah, I think we technically closed here. No, we still didn't. But I don't like this volatility. This isn't the volatility you want to see on an inversion whatsoever. So now we have bullish SMT, and it looks like we are continuing to, I don't know, we might be an OTE of this now as well. Yeah, now we've tapped OT of this as well perfectly. So I could almost be open to taking this 3-minute long because we have SMT here. I don't know what's going on with my ES chart, if this is accurate. It looks like it is, okay. I don't know why it's showing a different time frame here, though. That's what's weird. Ah, fuck. Well, I would have wanted to take that 3-minute, but now it's invalid here. See, this 1 minute looks really good. I would have wanted to see this get manipulated, though, which it looks like we failed to do on either asset. And we also are now creating relative equal highs up here as well. So it looks like right now we're probably going to deliver from this 5-minute down here. So we've now inversed this 5, so I could definitely be looking for a continuation short here. It's just I don't like this SMT here. I don't even know if this is true SMT, though. I'm really confused about what is happening right here. I'll make sure to reset this next. New day, yeah, we'll go to new day once we hit 11. But if we can like use this and then get an inversion short here, I'd be open. Okay, I mean, this looks really good. I think we're delivering from a 5-minute as well. No, we left behind an unmitigated 5. It's not really what I want to be taking. I don't really want to be shorting with an unmitigated PD array above. I mean, we're probably delivering from like a 3-minute. Yeah, we're delivering from a 3-minute. And we're getting to end of kill zone. I don't know. I'm not really a fan of this. Well, I mean, I like this displacement. This is quite the death candle here. I think it's going to be like a free trade. I don't know. This is also like technically high resistance because this is a high inside of OTE inside of a mitigated PD array now, which isn't the best target. It's kind of just a weird spot in price. I mean, I do like how we have inverse the 5-minute to the left, and when that happens, we're kind of just going to use any short-term bearish PD array to take us lower. I do like that aspect of this. I just don't like how we've kind of been failing to deliver lower. I mean, I could justify this as like being a soup to take us lower. It's kind of just a weird spot. Yeah, I agree that this is just a range and it's going to be overall lower probability. We also have this unmitigated 5 above. I'm probably just going to fade this. I think it works or is at least break even, but I'm just going to fade this. This isn't something I would be taking in real time, so I don't want to build those habits by taking a low probability model while backtesting, but we'll see what happens here. Yeah, that's why we fade this. It's just low probability, right? When we're chopping around like this with kind of conflicting DOLs, there's no reason to engage with this price. And now it is, I mean, now we are in the 5 minutes, so we could see something here, but this is going to be about my last. If we get this 30-second, I'm willing to take it, but yeah, this just looks like 2022 model to take us higher now. And we do have that unmitigated 5 minute here as well. Let's see what happens. All right, yeah, I'm gonna be done here. I want to see what price does, but I'm gonna be done here. Yeah, just kind of choppy overall. We're gonna go to the next day. Okay, there we go. All right, daily bias. Daily, it looks like we've now rebalanced that, so my DOL earlier was correct. This is where I could start to see, prices higher from. We're definitely probably in a discount here too. Yeah, I'm going to keep this OTE marked out because this is, if we are going to continue lower, the OTE is the next point where I could see price reverse from. I don't really need to mark much out. I guess I'll put this daily here, even though I know it in the back of my head. Or I'm going to take this off. That's just going to add makeup. I know we're in a daily right now, so. 4 hour, we have unmitigated 4 hour above, so that's likely going to be my DOL. I want to see what ES is doing though. I didn't really look at ES. Looks like ES is lagging behind, and looks like we might continue to be bearish, or NQ might kind of lag while ES catches up, so we'll see what happens here. 4 hour. I mean, this would be our breaker block as well, so I think if we do want to continue lower, we'll probably use this to take us lower. We'll see though. That's kind of a scenario I'm laying out, but that's kind of going to be my current drawn liquidity, if that makes sense. It looks like we do have this significant sell side down here as well that I could see get swept. One hour. Inside of a 1 hour right now, we do have these equal highs above. So, I mean, yeah, this looks like a really nice spot, but like I said, we do have these roadblocks in the way. I don't really want to be longing unless we start to disrespect these. I'm not really a fan of anticipating an inversion. Or let's look at the 1 hour to the left. Looks like we've swept this intermediate. We're also delivering from this 1 hour. $15-minute. We're starting to displace higher. I don't know. There's not much I really see on the 15-minute that stands out to me. Discount is kind of aligned with consequent encroachment of our 1 hour, it looks like. So we'll just see how price reacts going into open here. I wouldn't mind, honestly, some sort of continuation short if we're going to continue respecting higher time frame bearish PD arrays, but we'll see. We do have this unmitigated 5 below. I don't think I can. Yeah, they don't have the session highs I use. So I mean, I don't really need to mark them. I can kind of just keep them in the back of my head and just look at liquidity overall and significant highs and lows. So we're going to go to open now and see how price reacts at open. All right, here's open. I could see some sort of manipulation here and then catch distribution. This kind of looks like AMD. And then we could potentially catch distribution lower, but we'll just see how price reacts here. So we have a bearish SMT, and now we have an internal bullish SMT. Kind of a weird spot in price, but you know, this displacement is very telltale. As far as a break-even point, probably going to be this 5-minute. And then I'm likely going to TP down here. Low-hanging fruit would be here. It's not quite 1R. I could just aim for a 1R, but I think this looks good. Is there a 4-minute? Yeah, I mean, we've disrespected highest time frame. It's just that we could technically soup here and then go higher, but this looks like this is our manipulation, you know? Accumulation right here, manipulation, distribution lower here. It's honestly what I want to see. I like this. I think it's definitely worth a shot. Likely something I'd take in lifetime as well. So this 3-minute inversion. I really like the momentum here. And it seems like, you know, a risk-free trade. So we'll see what happens here. So that took the mechanical break even. We'll see if using discretion here is going to be the right play, going break even at this 5-minute. Okay, so I'm break even there now. And then I'm probably, I don't know. We'll see what happens when we get down here. I might just exit my full position here when we hit about 1R. 1R would be here. I'm kind of a fan of the 1R, honestly. I'll probably scale 75% at 1R and then hold like one runner down here. This is just pretty high resistance that I don't really want to be targeting. I think we're going to get like an internal model to potentially take us higher here. We'll see what happens. But yeah, now risk-free trade here. And it looks like we're stopped at break even. See if that saved us or not. Yeah, that's unfortunate. I don't really think there was much of a high probability continuation. I guess we tapped this 3-minute BPR and then we could have seen like a 1-minute inversion here. 2-minute. There was this 2-minute that was also supported by an order block with this low resistance that I do like, honestly. I probably should have taken it slow there, and I likely would have taken this, but that's hindsight, so. It looks like this was a nice soup to take us lower. Plus, you know, this is going to be high resistance up here with this bearish SMT delivering from a 1 hour for value gap. So next point I'd be looking for a trade is once we sweep the sell side, so we'll see what happens when that happens. So now we swap sell side. Get rid of some of this makeup. We do have an unmitigated 5 above, so a mech model here could be pretty nice. Yeah, it looks like ES is trying to catch up to NQ. we'll see what happens here. Because pretty much no matter what, I'd anticipate this unmitigated for value gap to get mitigated. I want to see if we create... Actually, I don't want to miss an entry on the lower time frame. Okay, we should have an unmitigated 15 now here. Yeah, we do have this. This is now an unmitigated 15. And we do now have a 5 minute in the way. So if price reaches this 5 minute and taps into it before we get a lower time frame inversion, I'd have to wait for this 5 minute before targeting this, which is, that's going to make it higher probability if we get this 5 minute, but we'll see. I wouldn't mind going, you know, break even at this, if we can get like a 30-second up here or something. So now we're on the 5, so we're going to need to wait for that. It's annoying. I almost want to pre-fire this on the lower time frame. For the sake of the model, we'll wait for the 5 minute and hope that this 15 minute doesn't get mitigated by then. Sounds good, Zach. I'll talk to you then, brother. Okay. Oh, this is annoying. The RR is just really bad here. I mean, I don't even know how, if I can squeeze positive R here. Like a 1-to-1 would be above our unmitigated gap. I'm very confident in this, so I think it's almost a risk-free trade. Because we could just get lucky, essentially just get lucky and hit TP. I don't know. It looks like we'll probably rebalance slightly lower before getting the real move. If I could use some sort of like limit. This unmitigated 3. Yeah, I mean, I just can't take this. This is just, you know, low. I just can't really, like, with high probability, squeeze positive risk to reward here. So we'll see if we can get, like, a retracement back into this 3 minute and then potentially look for a continuation on, like, the 30-second. But this 15 minute needs to stay unmitigated for me to be able to do that. Yeah, we barely missed the 3. Looks like ES tapped it. Is there a 30-second? No, there's just not. It's unfortunate. It's a very obvious DOL, but just not a very good entry, which stuff like this is going to just happen sometimes. And now the 15's mitigated. It's unfortunate. I think it was very obvious that our DOL was higher, but I don't know. We'll see how price reacts to this 15 minute. We did reach premium of this range. We still do have overall DOLs below. This is kind of just a weird spot. What time are we in? We're past 11 anyways. So yeah, I'd be off anyways. This is past kill zone. I want to see what happens though, but I'm not going to be engaging here. I'm not really a fan of this 5 minute short, to be honest, but we'll see what happens. Yeah, it just gets wrecked. Looks like we did reach discount. ES was delivering from the 5 minute. Like I said though, past kill zone, and I don't like how this 5 minute inversed and we didn't reach the other unmitigated below. So, yeah. We're gonna go to the next day here. Or, ooh, hold up. What would be my DOL though? Probably this unmitigated gap up here if we have one. No, it's mitigated. I still think this is a strong DOL. We're delivering from this 5-minute too. Like I said, this is out of kill zone and it is against my rules, but for the sake of backtesting, I'm going to throw a position on here. I'm just going to go pretty much instantly break even though, so. Yeah, this isn't something that I would take in live time, to be completely honest. I just want to see what happens and how this plays out. In backtesting, we're doing this to get data, so. It's going to be pretty much instantly break even, so we need to see displacement here. Or we'll just get stopped because it's out of kill zone. All right. See, that's why these risk-free trades are nice, because it's like guaranteed at least break even, and you can just get lucky and get nice displacement here. We'll see if we get lucky. There we go. Nice. It just looks very obvious that we're, you know, in buy side here. You know, we have this higher time frame sweep. But I mean, yeah, like you said, that is the thing, buying in premium. That's not what you want to be doing. But if we have this sweep and we are very obviously in a buy model on the lower time frame, like when I see this signature and price, it's very obvious that our next DOL is going to be higher, right? And that's like low-hanging fruit. This was just a 1R position, but like when we create this and then we're disrespecting lower time frame bearish PD arrays here as well as here, we're disrespecting this 15-minute, then it's very obvious, you know, that you can kind of just, this 15-minute, once this gets inversed, I'm very confident that our current DOL is going to be higher here, so. I think that was a nice trade. Yeah, like I said, though, past kill zone, if I saw the signature and price during kill zone, I definitely would have taken it on live charts. The only reason I wouldn't take this on live charts is due to being out of kill zone by 40 minutes. And we're also not in macro either, so yeah. Yeah, nice trade. All right, we'll go on to the next day now. If anyone has any questions about this trade, let me know before I skip to the next day. It's just very obvious that, you know, when we are disrespecting like that 15-minute bearish PD array after sweeping this sell side and still delivering from a higher time frame bullish PD array, which was that hour to the left, then I can look for pretty much any continuation here. We also have this low resistance above as well, which is very algorithmic. Can I show trade? Maybe, if my stuff will still pop up. This was the trade. We created these relative equal highs, and then it was going to be a risk-free trade because our break-even point's like right here. So I decided that we might get lucky and get nice displacement. That's why the risk-free trades are nice. A lot of people don't like when the entry is really close to their break-even, but it's pretty much a risk-free trade. You can always get lucky and get this nice displacement, which is usually what's going to happen if your draw on liquidity is correct. Would I have held to the New York open high? Probably not, just because it is high resistance. Because this, you know, is inside of a 1 hour. Like I said, we're still inside of a 1 hour here and respecting this. So this is a high that swept a high, created a bearish SMT inside of a higher time frame bearish PD array. It does look like it could be justified because we do have this sweep down here, but I think we're going to have some trouble and it's going to take some time to get that move. We'll see what happens. I do think that the overall DOL is higher. I just think that it might take a while to get there. We'll see. Yeah, I mean, there was probably another continuation here as well off of this 5-minute. It's like we would have been break even, but yeah, we tapped into the 5 and yeah, it looks like overall DOL was correct. I don't want to spend too much time on this day because we already took our trade, but yeah, we'll see. Yeah, see, we're just having trouble getting here. It's definitely going to be our overall DOL, but price is just choppy around here. So yeah, we will go on to the next day now. I can already say that I want some sort of manipulation down here. Just this LRL. This is the first thing I see, so I'm already going to be bearish here. We'll start on the higher time frame though. 4 hour looks very bullish. We're delivering from discounts. ES is overall just in a really weird spot, but yeah, ES is already inside of this mitigated fair value gap. It looks like we have higher time frame bearish SMT. I'm honestly bullish here though. But I am short-term bearish due to that LRL, which is also, it looks like, going to be aligned with a higher time frame unmitigated hour, I'm going to guess. Yeah. So likely what I'm going to anticipate here is that this SMT is going to be used to take us lower to even maybe just here, and then we'll probably expand higher. But my current DOL is going to be lower. $15-minute, we have this unmitigated 15. So there's a couple scenarios that we could see here. It looks like our accumulation has already been manipulated for the most part here. So this could be our manipulation to distribute lower. We could either get a retracement back into this 15-minute. We could just dump it open and tap into this unmitigated fair value gap, which would be unfortunate without an entry. If that happens, I could definitely be looking for expansion higher. We do have this BPR, so I would anticipate this to be holding. But I think dream scenario would be if, like, you know, before open or right at open, we manipulate higher into this 15-minute and use it to take us lower. Because I don't want to be longing with this low resistance. This is very algorithmic. So we'll see what happens going into open. Okay. So we've been beneath this low resistance. I want to see all of this get swept though, because we still have that unmitigated hour below as well. So we'll see what happens. And that's a really unfortunate candle. Now my bias is likely going to be bullish to this unmitigated 15-minute, because now we are generating low resistance on the lower time frame above. We'll see. We haven't quite reached discount of this leg though, and there is still definitely some room to rebalance lower. So we're just going to be reacting. But I wouldn't mind looking for this 15-minute. No, it's invalid. This 30-second was invalid too. We have an internal SMT down here. If we have a 30-second, we just don't even have a 30-second though, yeah. If this 15-minute gets inversed, I could be looking for a continuation long here. And now we've swept this internal high. This is unfortunate. We do still, I mean, this looks bullish here. So I think I could still definitely be looking for a continuation. It's just not really ideal. We'll see what happens. want to see, when's this 15-minute going to get created? I'd like to see this 15-minute get created and potentially be used to take us higher. 4 minutes. So this is kind of an annoying spot once again. We now get the inversion delivering from a 5-minute fair value gap, but we now have an unmitigated 15-minute fair value gap. So, I don't know. I almost want to say that we're likely going to use the 5-minute that we're currently in to take us higher. To, this is what I think is going to happen. I think we're going to, we rebalance to the 5-minute. We're probably going to go up here, and then we'll probably look for a sell model to this unmitigated 15. I'm really confused if my ES chart is accurate right now. I do like how we created this order block. But I don't like how we're going into these other kind of higher time years. I don't know. We didn't even hit discount of this range either, I don't think. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a weird spot. I want to see how the next candle prints. And the next candle. If we can get confirmation, if we can tap this order block and then move higher off of it, then I'll kind of look for an entry there. I agree that a resweep down here would be great, which is probably what I'm going to be waiting for. Technically, we got what I was just saying, but still just not really a fan of this. See, this looks really bullish here now, though. It's just conflicting draws. That's the thing. That's what I really don't like about this. We have that unmitigated fair value gap above, but we do have bearish S&T there, and then we also have this unmitigated 15-minute. We haven't even tapped discount. I'm just gonna watch this one. Now we're generating low resistance down here as well. So I would really need a resweep down here before looking for a continuation long. See, like, we got this 1 minute, but this is really just a pattern trade. And ES is dumping, exactly. Now we have equal highs here. If we can keep these equal highs here and then rebalance, then I would love to take a long. Yeah, I mean, this is just horrible price action right here. I mean, we barely didn't sweep this again. ES hasn't. ES looks horrible. Kill zone's almost over. This is just horrible price action right here. Just a complete lack of delivery. This is what happens when we don't remanipulate. We just chop around because we don't have liquidity to take us in the opposing direction whatsoever. So I'm going to go to the next day. This is just chopped. Alright, we're inside of the 4 hour. We have an unmitigated 4 hour below. Am I more of a continuation trader? I trade both, whatever, the market's telling me. I just trade liquidity, really, so. This 1 hour is likely going to be my condition here. If we disrespect it, I could see prices lower to this 4 hour. If we, continue, I don't really know what my DOL is going to be. Likely just this internal high. I'm going to go to open here and we'll see what happens. All right, here's open. God damn it. This is really unfortunate. This is a really unfortunate week of price action. It's pretty slow overall. Likely going to be looking for continuation short here, as long as this is still intact. I mean, no, we have SMT here. I'm still pretty bearish, though. I think we need to complete this sell model. We'll see. Yeah, exactly. I know. This is just the reality of backtesting. Sometimes there's always going to be, weeks of overall unfortunate price action, unfavorable. I like this SMT here, and I like this displacement higher. I think this is going to be a risk-free trade. Also, these relative equal highs up here. I'm going to throw a position on here. I like this. I don't like how we failed to sweep this, but we already have swept this on ES if you look at this chart, so I kind of want to see how this aligns with our higher time frame narrative, though. I like this. I'm going to throw a position on here. Yeah, I like this. Let's see what happens here. All right, so it hit our break even, and then we got stopped at break even. So this would have been a break even trade. I accidentally did this a little too quick, so we'll see if I can get back to break even so it doesn't mess up my statistics. Okay. All right, well. I really don't want to be shorting these relative equal highs here. We can get this 1 minute, I'll take this. We have an SMT down here. Looks like we're creating an order block as well. I'm thinking if I should wait for this higher time frame gap. We already did get the 3 minute though. It's a 4 minute though. I'm gonna wait for this 4 minute. No entry on the 4 minute. Now I'd almost want to just go back down and see if we can get an internal model. Bro said BE, then didn't replay and close the trade. I went break even. I thought I was going to get stopped at break even again. I can't, like, I don't think I can. Oh, I guess I could have. Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I kind of forgot that I could do that. My apologies. I'm not taking credit for this trade, though. This would have been a break even. That's what I'm saying. I really like these relative equal highs here. That's the only reason I'm really looking for a position. And then we do have this SMT right here as well. I like this big wick too. This is going to be a nice break even. I'm not really a fan of this generated liquidity below us though. Whatever, for the sake of backtesting and just not great price action this week, I'll throw a position on here. If it'll let me. I could definitely just see this low resistance get ran though, that's what I'm saying. And that's one of the things that I, like incorporating into my trading is I don't want to be taking a position if we're generating liquidity where my stop loss would be. I'm going to go break even here now that we've swept this internal. I think we could totally just soup this and use it to sweep this low resistance. That's why. There's no way. Wow, that is disgusting. I know, that's the thing. This like literally makes my DLL even stronger though. Three minute now. God, I feel horrible taking 3 trades in a row, but no, I mean, I'm not going to take this. I would fade this in real time. I'm not going to take this. No more sake of backtesting trades. Of course it plays out, but it's not something I would take in real time, so I don't want people to think that I'm taking 3 trades. When price action is going to do stuff like this, it's usually low probability anyways. Okay, I'm going to go to Friday. This is going to be the last day. All right, guys. Sorry, yesterday was really slow. That last backtesting day. It's not about wins though. It's kind of about showing you guys how I view the market and stuff. So I'm sure you guys understand that, and I hope you guys are still learning some valuable lessons, even though we're not getting some great setups. Yeah, I won't do the for sake of backtesting anymore. Okay, this 4 hour has not been mitigated. We did sweep this though, so I think this could sponsor our move higher. It looks like we could rebalance though here to some sort of bullish PD array. I don't like this low resistance. I'd kind of want to see some of this get rebalanced. I'm going to go to open, and then I'm going to identify the higher time frame. All right, this is open. Yeah, I'd probably be looking for a continuation long here if we can rebalance lower first. Did sweep this. These equal lows. Or relative. I like this DOL above though too. As well as all of these highs. I have not been looking at news either. I need to start doing that. 10 a.m. red folder. $30 looks decent here. You'd just be targeting this high, this 1 minute high, this 30-second high that is delivering from a bearish PD array, so that's not really favorable. But we do have, all of this low resistance, and we have a soup down here, so I think this is worth a shot for sure. All of these relative equal highs above. God, my chart just looks weird without my indicators. It's kind of annoying doing this stuff on FX Replay. It's just like we have low resistance on both sides, which is what I'm really not a fan of here. I almost want to just wait here, especially with news later. And given that it's kind of hard to say where price really wants to go here, I don't really want to be taking this, to be honest. I'm really not that much of a fan of this 30-second. I don't think I'd take it in a lifetime. Well, we do have news at 10, so we'll see what happens with news. Of course it delivers in backtesting, yeah. I guess it was a nice signature in price, but like I said, we didn't rebalance to equilibrium, and we also have low resistance on both sides. I could definitely be open to looking for a continuation to sweep the rest of this low resistance, though, especially this high. We'll see what happens, but... yeah, I got you, Nate. What time is it? Alright, I'd be waiting for news here, so I'm going to just skip the news. Is that equilibrium? That's equilibrium. So now I would be more confident in looking for a long here. We do have these lows down here. It's just, like I said, there's more liquidity below. But we have rebalanced to EQ. It looks like this was really just our manipulation to take us lower. All right, we're inside of this 15, and we've swept a lot of liquidity, so I think that this 30 seconds decent, honestly. We could definitely... I mean, I'd like to see an unmitigated gap above, which it's unfortunate we don't. And taking a 30 second after this dump is definitely pretty scary. That's the only thing. What's the time? 10:20. This is a time where I could definitely see I'm going to use the mechanical break-even point because I could see price reverse from here. I could see something like this. And if that's not going to happen, then we're just going to continue to generate liquidity above, and then we'll probably get the real move later on. Yeah, I do stop loss at swing low for the sake of, I'll sacrifice risk to reward for higher probability. I like that we've swept a lot of this liquidity below, and now it looks like price really needs to rebalance higher. I think even if we do want to make a drastic move lower, that we'll need to grab fuel to fuel the car to take us lower. That's kind of what I'm looking at here. And I think this 30-second has a nice manipulation leg. We're in discount. We're delivering from a 15-minute fair value gap. I can't really see if these are equal lows, though, which kind of constitutes them as being equal lows. Yeah, these are equal lows. I really don't like that. That might change my whole stance on this position. Yeah, I think I'm going to fade this for the sake of equal lows. I am not a fan of longing with equal lows. I'm going to be fading this. See if we can resweep these equal lows and then get a move. Okay, so there's equal lows. This would have just been break even anyways. Now we have this 3-minute unmitigated above. We have tapped OTE perfectly as well. I do like that. It's always nice to see OTE get respected perfectly in hindsight. This just looks very bearish. We do have this unmitigated 15 now though. I want to see how this next 1-minute candle prints, and that's going to shape my decision. I really do like how OTE has been tapped perfectly. Okay, I really like this. I'm going to take profit at the unmitigated 15. I'm going to go break even at the unmitigated 3-minute. And this is going to be the last trade of the backtesting session, and then I'll answer any questions that anyone has. Okay, so break even there. And stop the break even. So yeah. that's why we, use risk-free trade by targeting unmitigated gaps, because if we want to go lower, I'd anticipate the unmitigated gap to be used to take us lower. So I'm not forcing longs if I anticipate the 3-minute gap to be mitigated no matter what the overall DOL is. That's what I think people need to understand. I'm not forcing longs. It's like pretty much my current draw on liquidity is this 3-minute. Even if we're going to be bearish, I still anticipate price to tap into this unmitigated 3-minute fair value gap and use it to take us lower. And that's why we use our break-even methodology, because it's, that's how we avoid unnecessary losses, right? And if DOL is correct, then we're going to run through this. It looks like we're going to sweep sell side now, though, so maybe we could see a position there. I want to see what happens. And I just missed the trade because I fucking... All right, well, yeah. Yeah, 0.705 is consequent encroachment of OTE. OTE is 0.62 to 0.79. That's really annoying that I just fucking missed this trade. Oh, I would have had to take the 4-minute anyways, and would have been bad risk to reward. So yeah, I'm going to call it there. This was not a great week of price action overall. I think we were still profitable. Yeah, we still ended up 1,000. There was a lot of break evens and a lot of just weird price action overall. And ES was super uncorrelated overall during all of this. So yeah, any questions that you guys have, I'd love to answer those now. But I'm going to exit out of here. We'll look at the statistics of this session. Yeah, so these are the statistics. 100% win rate, that's why we go break even and stuff. Obviously, I did get lucky on one of those trades that, like I said, I likely would not have even taken. I think there was one real trade that I, said I would have taken. That was, I think, still out of kill zone. But I said that I like that signature and price. And the only reason I wouldn't have taken it out of kill zone is because, during live trading is because I wouldn't have even been looking at the charts. But if I saw that signature and price, yeah, you want to see the rest of the session? Sure. I mean, I think this is going to deliver low of the day because I think we have major SMT down. Oh, wait, no, we don't. Yeah, here, I'll skip forward and let you guys see what happens here. I'm also pretty curious. Yeah. When in real trading, there is choppy PA, and let's say a month goes by where PA is like this week, how do you get the mental right, or how can you prepare for that? A good example of that was during last August price action. Because, I don't know, yeah, you guys all probably know that last August was pretty unfavorable overall. And the thing is, like, that was anticipated. That was very anticipated. Everyone knew that August was going to be overall a pretty slow month. So I would still show up every single day, and I would hop into the charts, right? Because even if price action is statistically unfavorable during August, I think that is one of the months where I honestly learned the most as a trader, to really just understand that I can, sit on my hands, and that is going to be the profitable and the high probability thing to do during a lot of months. It's annoying to do, but I think it's very great to just be able to watch price play and be unfavorable and not engage with it. That's what I think is really important to understand about just choppy price action and overall on lower probability months. Because, in August, there were still, I think I took 5 trades in all of August, and I think I took like 2 wins, 2 losses, and a break even. I'm pretty sure that's how my August went. So there were still some, I was still watching every day because obviously our model can still play out. And when we did get an A+ setup, I would execute it and stuff, and that's what happened. But if and when price action is unfavorable, yeah. How many trades does it show? 2, 3. I think we took 5 trades. I think we took, I believe, 3 break-evens and 2 wins. And I think I think 2 of the 3 break-evens saved us from an unnecessary loss. Everyone watching on YouTube, I'm going to wrap it up here, and I'm just going to answer a couple more questions on my Discord. I hope you guys like this. This is the reality of trading and backtesting, is that, you know, you're going to backtest, unfortunately, unfavorable price action sometimes, but it's important to follow your model and not do anything stupid during bad conditions.